Hey guys, Captain Walnut back with some more AFBeast. And I was gliding along the ground. Huh. Oh well. Yeah, so back with some more AFBeast. Today, well last time I showed you around a couple little things I was doing around my base. And today we're going to start working on some of the wiring. So I've built up this big, huge, large interface. Last time I had this supercomputer here, the molecular assembler. And I've added just, some cool little consoles on the side of it. Nothing's really hooked up yet. And then I have on-off switches for all of these guys down here. And before I forget, let's switch into blaze mode. Yes, for all these mob spawners down here, I've started to hook up a little, interface. I keep saying that word, interface. So there's going to be two switches to this. On the top one will allow you to switch it into force on mode, and the bottom one, so basically combining these two together will allow you to force it off, and then turning the top one on will force it on, and then turning this one on will allow the logic from the back here to actually control the spawners. So and if I have this one and then this one on, it will override it and do force on. So yeah. Okay, so I've got the Dryad, and the reason I have a Dryad is because it spawns a Nature Guardian. The Skeleton, I put a Skeleton statue there, or trophy, a Slime trophy, Zombie Pigman. On the other side I have Blaze, which there's no trophy for a, whatchamacallit, for a Wither Skeleton, so I just put a Necrotic Bone there. And there's no trophy for a Blizz, so I put one of those little Blizz rods there. Yeah, so I have each individual one controlled. I haven't done the logic for this side yet, and I've started the logic for this side. But before I get into doing this stuff, I just want to show you that this works. So let's go ahead and just turn on the Dryad there, and actually that makes it look all cool with the Infinity Orb all sort of getting all nuts. Of course the Dryads themselves don't drop the Infinity Orbs. It's the other things. It's the big guys. It's the Nature Guardians that drop them. So yeah. So if I come down here, you can see that the Dryads themselves are spawning, and they should. Why are you not getting killed? What's going on here? Well, that one got killed. Okay. Oh, there we go. And then you see if enough of them die, a Nature Guardian spawns. So this Nature Guardian will get killed slowly over time by these guys down there. And something I would like to happen is to have the entire system turn off if a Nature Guardian spawns down there, because he would actually attack all the other mobs. So let's get rid of the Dryads because I don't want to spawn two in accidentally. Did I spawn in two accidentally? Hopefully not. Good. Okay, there's only one down there. Great. Alright, so if I turn it on like these three right here, just to get some more mob spawning, you'll see that guy will actually attack and kill all those other little mobs, which kind of sucks, because then it doesn't count as a player killing them, it counts as that guy killing them. And the other thing is that the stronger guys, like the Blaze and the Blizz, will actually, if they get hurt by that Nature Guardian, they'll start attacking him. Which also isn't good because I don't want the mobs to kill him. I want the autonomous activators to kill him. So yeah, you can see the pigmen sort of getting pissed off at him, and they're all running to attack him. So yeah, now, he's going to survive for a long time because he's got 400 health. He's got a lot of armor, and those are using cleavers, not rapiers, so it's not penetrating his armor. So it does a very small amount of damage, like 1 to 3 hearts every hit. So yeah, unfortunately it takes a while for him to die. And let's go turn off all these guys because there's no point having it on right now. So turn these back off so that I don't have to worry about that. And then there is a way I could test for the Nature Guardian being there. If you're like, how the heck are you planning on doing that? Well, let's open peripherals again. So we have, he's really loud to me. I don't know if he's loud to you, but he's to me. You can see his like little scythe, Grim Reaper type scythe just flashing through the ground every now and again. He's not attacking me, it's just a graphical glitch, I don't know why he does it. But yeah, so using one of these sensors, we can actually do some pretty cool stuff. So let's do openp/docs and top, just to see what sort of things the peripheral attached to the top of this computer can do. And you can see here that one of them is get mob IDs, and another one is get mob data. So what does get mob IDs do? So get mob IDs. Get the ideas of all the mobs in range. Great. Okay, so this guy should be in range of up there, so we should be able to tell what mobs are there. And then we should probably be able to get mob data. What does that do? Oop, I've deleted the B. Mob data. So what that does is get the full details of a particular mob if it's in range. So basically you send the ID and it'll tell you stuff. So if we go into Lua and we do, let's do text utils. Text utils get mob IDs, right? We close that and we run it, and you'll see that, okay, it thinks there's several different mobs here. So there's that one, 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 that one. Okay, so I made a little bit of a program. Let's just run it. So you can see it sort of gives you a whole ton of information, and unfortunately I can't scroll up to sort of figure out everything. But we can look at it. So let's do edit test 1. You can see all I'm doing is I'm saving the sensor, I'm saving the list of mobs, I'm cycling through the list of mobs, and then I'm doing another for loop to get all the data out of that particular mob in that list. Let's add a tiny little aspect to this. So let's do sleep 0.25, so a quarter of a second in between every single entry, so maybe we'll be able to read it. Sneaking armor is in water is child. Potion effects is what? Health, pitch, saddle, max type 3. Where's the type here? Type cow. 4. Type. Oh, I got hurt. Pig. Pig. There's so many pigs. I should bag argument. Table accepted. Expected got nil. Does that mean that one of the mobs that was in that mob data got killed? I think that's what that means. So let's do, instead of just listening, he is attacking me. There's no two ways about it. Alright, so instead of going through everything there, Guardian. Yay, there it went. Yay. So now I know I can get a true or false statement there if the nature guardian exists. So great. And then so basically what I'll have it do is if it's true or false, then I'll output brown, or because that's the color I'm going to do. So I'll have it output redstone signal to the back here and have that feed into a brown insulated cable. Have that brown insulated cable fill into one of these, feed into one of these two bundled cables, and that will go up top, and then I can override all the other inputs from all the other mobs, turn them on and off. So that was a really complex thing to do in order to check if the nature guardian is still alive. Alright, so the top again is allow logic or force on, the bottom is ignore logic or allow logic. If both of them are up, then it's off. Yeah, so what we're doing here is basically I've got this system that I showed you last time out there. So this is the exact same logic as what's back there. If we turn this one on, this is like the top switch, so we can flick it and it'll be forced on, and that light turns on to indicate that it'll stay on. And this would be like the logic. You can see, yes, it doesn't react at all. So now I can flip that back to allow the logic, but since this guy is set to ignore logic, it's ignoring the logic, so it's basically forced off. And then if I set this to allow the logic, it's going to invert whatever the logic is, because that's the way I want this guy to be set up. And then we can flip that back on and off, and you can see that it is indeed reacting to it. And then I can turn that guy off here, but I can override it by just going boom. There we go. So you can see that actually all three of these switches are down, and it's actually still overriding it all with this switch and forcing it on. So this light here, just to avoid confusion, because usually when the light's on, you would think the device is on. So in order to avoid confusion there, I have a redstone signal coming off of that, sorry, a redstone torch coming off of that to invert the signal again, so that way I can, because with the auto spawners from MFR, if they receive a redstone signal, they're off. If they're not receiving a redstone signal, they're on. So light off means the device should be off, so I need to send it a redstone signal, so the torch needs to be on, and vice versa. What else? Why am I inverting it down here? Because if I want to override something, so basically I'd have a redstone signal coming into, set up over here somewhere that recommends that this thing turn on. If I want to override that recommendation, and then I'd invert it, and then it'd come in here and then get re-inverted. And the reason we do that is that at this stage right here, we could override that recommendation, like say the Nature Guardian spawns. So if there's a redstone signal on here recommending that it should be on, it inverts so this is off, inverts again so this is on. If I want to override that, I would send a redstone signal right here, so that would turn on, and so that would invert it to off. So that way it would all turn off, if that makes sense. By inverting it 3 different times, I'm able to inject a redstone signal wherever I need to in order to force this thing to turn on and off the way I want it to. Yeah. So, okay. So you can sort of see here, I think this one might be the easiest to understand. You can see from the top switch, which is on the other side of this redstone lamp, I have a piece of cyan insulated wire coming down here, going in there, and then I surround it with these little stone brick strips so that the alloy doesn't try to connect up everywhere else. And then I isolate this guy so the orange wire doesn't come around this way with the buffer gate. I also isolate the orange insulated wire so that when this guy turns on, that light does not turn on with that OR gate. The reason I'm using an OR gate is because it can take inputs from 3 sides, so it's just an easy way to keep this circuit compact. And then that circles around to this side. So this orange can talk to this side, and this cyan talks to both input A and input B. And then the output goes up to the green here to there, or to the white for the skeletons, or to the lime green for the for the Dryad / Nature Guardian, to the pink for zombie pigmen. Piggy piggies is what I was trying to think. That's what my brain was trying to say, was piggy piggies. And then you can see that goes up here into this framed bundled cable, and then comes down through the middle. And for now, I just have all of the Dryad guys talking to each other because I hadn't had that thing set up yet. But yeah, so that comes up here, and that goes down there through the floor and over to here through the middle to talk to everything else. And I still have yet to set up the same thing over here. You can see I'll have yellow for blaze to connect up to that one, purple for witches, which will connect up to that one, black for wither skellies, connect to that one, and light blue for blizz, which will connect to that one. And then also the corresponding light colors, which is great. What else do I want to show you? Oh, yeah, down here, another overriding thing is if I open this door, I would like all of the mob spawners to automatically turn off unless I have something set to force on, because maybe I want to get it down in there if I like swap one out for a cow or something like that. I don't know why, but still, if I want to be able to have logical control over this thing however I want. So if I open this thing on, it'll override all the logic to tell them all to turn off. And by doing that, what it's basically doing is, you can see down here, I have that going into light gray, and that connects into all 3 bundles. You can't really tell from down here, but it connects into all 3 different bundles. And then something else I'm doing is all the way down below. Let's go all the way down into the basement. Okay. Over here, you can see I've got these computers to control, to basically output whether or not these tanks are full. And I'm going to say black would turn on if it's more than 5%, gray will turn on if it's more than 50%, and white will turn on if it's more than, say, 95%. Same thing over here for this tank. Red would turn on more than 5 for this tank, yellow turn on more than 50% for this tank, and green would turn on if it's more than 95% for this tank. So basically over here, this white, remember, is saying if the white is on, that means this tank is more than 95% full of mob essence. And there's multiple things I would do with that. That would basically say, okay, I don't have any shortage of mob essence, go ahead and turn on all the mobs, because I'm not worried about that. Another thing it would do is, if we come down here, you can see the autonomous activator that spits the essence berries out from the harvester. I know it's really kind of hard to see because it's cramped down here, but there's a harvester over there. We talked about this last episode, that harvests essence berries, and then that pushes it out into this autonomous activator. I have the white from this guy. Actually, let's just walk all the way around here and follow this white cable all the way over here because it's less cramped. Okay, perfect. So yeah, there's the harvester, which grabs the berries, pushes it into the activator, which will turn them into experience orbs, and the experience orbs get turned into mob essence by the sewers all the way down at the bottom. So by applying a redstone signal to this guy, you see here he only is on if there's no redstone signal. Then it would effectively shut this thing off and allow this thing to fill up an inventory of essence berries. Now, of course, I don't have the logic set up for that yet. I haven't written the programs for those computers, but as soon as I do, what will be nice about this is I can build up a buffer of essence berries, so I can have a secondary buffer of essence, basically. So once that thing drops down below 95%, then this guy will start turning the essence berries into essence orbs to help the my essence levels rise back up again to what I want them to be, and we'll be good to go. And then when it's above 95% again, it'll shut back off. So yeah, let's fly back out here. Great, awesome. So the next step is I have got to run all of the little bundled cables from this guy down here. So I'm going to get on that, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I think that's everything set up there, and there's a fairly easy way to test it. We come back here, if we flick that, that comes on, we flick that, that comes on, that comes on, that comes on, great. And if we flick all, well, those are all off, so good, so all these should come on too. Okay, good. And then if we flick all these guys, did not come on, that's what we want, so actually leave those on. Good. And we should be able to override, good, and good. Alright, so it's working perfectly. That's the way we want it to work. Alright, so now the next step is to actually have an input from our applied energistic system, which isn't, set up yet, but using, do I have any over here? No. So using level emitters, I talked about this in the last episode too. Using level emitters, we can basically test if we have the right amount of stuff. So for instance, for blaze, I would want the blazes to turn on if I was under a certain amount of mob essence, which I wouldn't get from the AE system, I'd get from one of those bundled cables coming up from the floor, or if I was low on blaze rods. And I would just set a certain threshold for that. For the witches, I would want them to turn on if I was low on sticks, sugar, gunpowder, redstone, glowstone. Anything else they drop? I don't think so. For wither skeletons, I'd want them to turn on if I was low on coal, or maybe even wither skulls, though I doubt I'll check for that. I might as well. It won't hurt. So if I'm low on either necrotic bones or wither skulls or coal, then I'll have this guy turn on. For Blizz, if I'm low on snowballs, which I don't know why I would even bother about, but whatever, or these Blizz rods, then I'll turn that on, so on and so forth. For Pigmen, if I'm low on zombie flesh or gold nuggets, turn that on. Slime, if I'm low on slime. Skeletons, if I want arrows or bones or their heads. And I guess zombie heads for these guys too. And then Dryads, I'd either only have it if it was a manual toggle, or maybe have a very low threshold for infinity orbs. Like, let's say 5 infinity orbs. If I have less than 5 of these red infinity orbs, or less than a certain amount of the natural essence, or whatever it's called, then go ahead and turn this guy on. So yeah. Okay, oh boy, I left that on, didn't I? Yep, all these lights are on. Okay, please turn off again. Oh boy. Well, we can see that that's working. So this is one of the biggest problems here, is why I need the logic system. As you could see for a second there, the Blaze and the Blizz attack each other, which is not good for tons and tons of reasons. It looks like one of them, it's on exact copy. Is this one on exact copy? Yes. Okay. Never mind. Ignore me. Now, why is that energy low? That's confusing. That energy should be just fine. Am I running? See, I've been running out a lot of energy. I keep having to set up temporary power systems and then tear them down again. No, this should be fine. Still draining. Low priority mobs, which is Blizz. Blizz is on the low priority mobs list. What is going on here? Let's check this out. Oh boy. That's filling up. Yeah, okay. Low priority mobs. I'm ignoring the redstone signal. It's receiving energy. Okay. This is filling up, right? Okay, it was just using energy faster than this guy was outputting, I guess. That's fine. I have it set to max. Okay. Cool, whatever. Whatever, guy. Actually, I should probably switch that over, since Blizz are actually fairly important. Switch them over to a medium mob. I should switch all of these guys out to redstone energy cells or better. So, ow! Wow, I almost died there! Those iron golems hit really hard when we don't have armor on. Okay. That was scary. Alright. Okay, I am going to be back with you when I am ready to set up, or when I have set up, I don't know, I'll decide in a second, the next level of the logic system. So see you in a second.